We are back here on the Lynne Hayes Freeland Show. Bonnie, I'm going to come back to you this time. So when in this process, once you formed the organization, Hairpiece, when did you realize that there were different issues confronting women of color when it came to wigs and hair?
Well, the thing about hairpiece is that it's basically, I don't see people. When people call me and
Mm-hmm.
say, I'm going to lose my hair, I'm going through chemotherapy, and I need help.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to people on the phone, and I don't know what color they are
Okay.
or anything, about them.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I gather information about them. We talk about where they are in their treatment, and I try to always find something to encourage them, where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Like getting ready for chemo, and I can tell them, well, it's they've got this and this, and here's some things to help you out to navigate through that, and keep me posted if this happens or anything else happens, and help them through that process. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the phone call, but I don't know where they are. And I a few years ago, I said, I don't know if we're really reaching the Black community. And a lot of that has to do, I guess, with zip codes. And, because I get everybody's address, and we send out a couple of books. We send out Prayers to Get Through Cancer, You're Never Alone, which is an awesome book. And then we also have a book called The Warrior's Guide, which is information about good food and fighting stress and other things like that you need to be a healthier survivor. And so we put those together in these books and send those out. So we look at the zip codes and I say, where are they going? And I really don't see them going into what I would call a real Black community area, like for whatever that means. And so I said, how are we doing? I don't know. And so then I asked some of the salons, how many Black women do you see a month?
Mm-hmm.
And some say one or two, out of, 50 or more people that come in. So I'm thinking there's just, we're not reaching it. I'm not hearing from the Black women in the community. So how can we make that bridge? How can we try to make sure, because obviously you're a woman, no matter what color you are, you're going to lose your hair.
Right.
And so I needed to try to make that connection. And so did outreach to LaToya, talked to her a little bit more about it. And we have a board member who is a woman of color, and she said it was very important to her to try to get into her community too. So that's how it kind of got started. And so a couple of years ago, we really tried to see what we could do to the outreach as far as concerned.
Okay. So then, LaToya, as I mentioned earlier, I came into your salon with Bonnie one day. And full disclosure, while I did have breast cancer, I didn't have chemo. I only had radiation. So I didn't have the hair loss experience. But what I learned from you, LaToya, the day we came to your salon, which is right in the heart of Shadyside, was it is a whole process when you go through the colors and all the different styles. There's an art, it's a science to really finding the look that makes sense, that makes you feel comfortable. And it can be a beautiful experience in what is a very trying emotional time.
Yes, it really can be. There's challenges though. If you are experiencing medical caused hair loss for a Black woman, your choices are a little bit limited. When it comes to cap construction and the way that the wig is made and how it's going to feel when it's on you. There is this thought that as Black women, we change our hair a lot. We wear weaves, we wear wigs, but there's a totally different aspect when it's not for fashion. And the inside of the cap needs silicone, or it needs hypoallergenic materials, so that as the cancer is leaving your body and your scalp is dry, it's not counteracting with a cheap cap construction, So there's a lot of challenges with that, because people think, oh, you lose your hair, I'm just going to wear a wig. Well, it's not that simple. It's a filling too, a day by day filling. So what I've noticed when I really got into a hair boutique, and the reason why I started this business, I had a car accident where I experienced hair loss, and I was burned really bad, and I had to wear a wig. And It was a medical wig, and insurance paid for it at that time. However, the place that they sent me was not for me. You know, it was an older white lady
Mm.
helping me. None of the styles were my texture. She didn't know anything about my hair. You know, everything she put on me, I was 18 years old, made me look like a 50-year-old soccer mom or something. They were horrible.
Mhm, mhm.
But and they were expensive. They were so expensive. So I took the wig that I got with the insurance company, went home, manipulated it, put rods on it, dipped it in hot water, put it in the microwave for about 20 seconds. Legit, I really did this to a wig to give it some texture. I had natural hair, and that's exactly what it did. It gave it texture. So I took this expensive medical wig that my grandmother was like, "Don't mess up that wig, girl." I'm like, "It's already messed up." But I had to make it my own, and
Mhm,
that's what I did. And I knew there was a need for that for other women, you know, women of color, women with
mhm.
curly hair, you know, all of these things. Unfortunately, the high end suppliers don't cater to that because they think that we're not going to spend the money, you know, for that
Mm.
comfort.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
now it's shifting. But when I first got into it, that was their response, you know, oh, Black women don't spend money on wigs. They want the $50 wig. Well, who told you that? Because,
Right,
you know,
right.
there
Mhm.
are people who need it for more than just, I want to change my look, you
Right,
know.
right.
So there really is a difference in the way that it's made. And I understand it because personally I went through it.
Mhm,
And,
mhm.
you know, sometimes we have to make it do what it do, and we tweak them and make it work so that it's, you know, for that individual.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Jamelle, talk to me about your experience. So you went through chemo. You lost all of your hair after chemo.
Yeah.
Did you make the conscious decision that you wanted to wear a wig?
Yeah, I did. Even before I lost my hair, I think I called Bonnie before I even lost my hair because
Mhm,
I knew that, it was going to happen and I wanted to be ready for when it did happen. So,
mhm.
one of my pink sisters actually recommended me to Bonnie and I called her. We had probably a half an hour conversation. She let me know what to expect, let me know she was going to send the money to the salon that I was going to for my wig. And it was great. She was one of the first people that I interacted with um, that had a support group and everything when I was first diagnosed. So it was so helpful. The guide that she sent, the prayers that she sent, or the other people sent from, I'm not sure if they're all around the world or around, the country, was so amazing. Her
Mhm.
services um, was so helpful in the beginning. Um, so that's how we were introduced.
And is the wig that we're talking about? Is that the wig you have there? Don't show
Yeah.
it yet. Don't show it yet. Yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna take a commercial break, and we'll take a look at it after the commercial break. We'll do that in just a minute when the Lynne Hayes Freeland show continues. Don't go away.